Okay, hello YouTube. Promised my next video is going to be on the company Paraclete and the associated parent companies that own them. So here it is. This is my my little sampling of Paraclete, what they have to offer. I don't own too much from them, but I do own enough, I guess, to give a review of the manufacturer. So, in the lines of my other videos starting off, Paraclete was founded early 2000, maybe a little bit earlier, somewhere around there. It was founded in North Carolina, St. Paul's, North Carolina, pretty geographically close to Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Because of that, and because of the relationship of the owner to some unit members, or to members of a certain unit that is at Fort Bragg, his gear became pretty well known within a certain unit of the Army, and they used a lot of their stuff, but other people also used it, and they sell a bunch of stuff in the private sector as well. When these guys came out on the scene, when the original Paraclete came out on the scene, I mean, they were innovative as hell. I mean, Paraclete was about the top line. They were the Ferrari of the tactical nylon industry. You could not beat the quality and the innovation of their equipment. But they got sold in 2006 or 2007, somewhere around there. They got sold to MSA, Mining Security Authorities. And MSA, you know, they bought Paraclete and they bought a couple other defense-orientated businesses so they could hop on the bandwagon of the giant contracts the U.S. government was handing out for the Iraq and Afghanistan wars with all the production of equipment. So when they bought Paraclete in 2006 or 7, like I said, one of them, the founder and owner of Paraclete had to sign a 5-year non-compete clause with MSA, so he couldn't manufacture anything tactical nylon wise, any sort of equipment, anything that could be sold, anything that Paraclete had in its product line that it was selling to the government. He could not you know, just rename himself and start making it again. So that ended, I guess, a year ago. So he started a new company pretty much doing exactly what he did when he founded Paraclete. But there's a general consensus: when Paraclete was bought by MSA, it went downhill. And it did, to a degree. I mean, it definitely went, you know, MSA is a business. They did not know or understand the defense industry. They bought Paraclete just to make money. They saw how good Paraclete, before they had bought it, was doing, and they thought, oh, we'll just buy it and we'll just continue to make money off it. But they do what big businesses tend to do. They tried cutting corners. They tried to cutting corners to make things more profitable, and it did not work out for them. They didn't have the proper people in the proper places to produce this stuff, to engineer it, to do product development, and the line suffered. And then I think like a year ago, or just recently, Paraclete got sold to PPE. So they're not even MSA Paraclete anymore. They're PPE Paraclete, because it was just failing. I mean, the business was just failing. So, you know, they didn't do too much innovation after Paraclete became MSA, and the quality did go down. Now, I have two pieces in front of me. Pre-MSA Paraclete vests, they can go for a premium, because I guess they're collector items now. Like the Ravs, they're like one of the first people to kind of pioneer releasable armor systems, and their plate carriers, their early stuff, they can fetch a pretty high premium, especially depending on what colors or whatever the fuck you have. They can fetch a premium. They're very expensive. So I don't have any pre-MSA Paraclete items in front of me besides some pouches. I do have some pre-MSA Paraclete pouches, and this is one. But this is an MSA Paraclete vest. This design is very interesting. One of the trademarks of the Paraclete system is that it uses a cummerbund, obviously, and it has Velcro to which the cummerbund sticks to, but oddly it doesn't have a front flap that encloses the cummerbund to which you mount pouches and that you open and close to don and doff. What it has is this zipper system. So what you do here is you can zip it together, and there's Velcro, and you zip together, then it faces, and then you zip it up, and that keeps it secure. It kind of looks a little gimmicky at first, but it works very, very well. I had a lot of friends that would buy aftermarket MS or pre-MSA Paraclete and some MSA Paraclete stuff before everybody found out they were shit, and they loved them. I mean, it was good gear. And this system, it does hold up, and it's good because it's not just relying on the Velcro. It has like a 3 fail-safe system, and then in addition, if you want more added, strength, integrity to your cummerbund, they got the snap link closures, so you can completely lock that sucker in. So now you got the Velcro, you got the zipper, and you got this. Your cummerbund's not going anywhere, and even if the Velcro wears out, which let me tell you, every vest Velcro wears out with hard use eventually over time. I don't care if it's Eagle, London Bridge, I mean, you name it, the Velcro will wear out. You use it enough, it will wear out. It gets fouled enough, it will wear out. And there's nothing you can do about that. It's just going to wear out, and the vest will become unserviceable eventually. But this one kind of fixes that because, like I said, it has a 3 fail-safe system. It has the Velcro, it has the zipper, and then it has the snap links for the cummerbund itself. So it's a really good system. Nothing too crazy about the stitching of this vest. This is their CVC RAV, R-A-V, releasable armor vest or assault vest or something like that. This isn't releasable though. So to call it a RAV is kind of misleading. But it's a CVC because that's their concealment cut pattern armor. And just like, kind of like the Marcirus I did, this doesn't take plate backers and it doesn't take bulks panels. It takes its own proprietary concealment cut soft armor panel. So you would open this up, okay, and I don't have Paraclete proprietary cut soft armor. It's actually kind of hard to find, and it's very expensive. But you would open it up, and the whole panel is in the shape of the front and the rear plate pocket of the vest. So that whole armor, soft armor panel is in this shape. And then obviously it has your plate pocket right here where you would put your plate. So that's how it works. And you know, there's only like 1 or 2 companies that actually make. I think Second Chance, their cut is the same, or it's Second Chance or Pinnacle. Somebody's cut, concealment cut, is very similar to Paraclete's concealment cut. Everything else, it's pretty good. Cummerbund, nothing too crazy. Doesn't have any ability to accept Velcro inserts or soft armor or anything. But you don't really need soft armor in your cummerbund because you got a complete soft. You got pretty much 90% soft armor coverage with your rear and front panel. So no need for that. But it does not have the ability to take a side sappy plate. It is elastic. It has built-in elastic. And their method of attaching cummerbunds is a little different. They use just heavy-duty nylon, and it's just kind of uses the MOLLE to retain it, and it stretches. It has minimum stretching. It doesn't have like a lot, but just enough to get it snug so it's not flopping around. But yeah, ultimately, that's pretty much this vest. There's not a whole lot to it really. I mean, what you see is what you get. One of the big things I hate about this vest is the plate pocket, the actual plate pocket. It doesn't have a second. Almost every single real top tier armor carrier out there, it has another Velcro strap inside of the pocket that's adjustable to where you can adjust the tightness and where the plate rides. This does not have it. You have a single Velcro flap with a 2-inch Velcro closing, and that is it. So the plates rest on the bottom of that. I don't like that. I would have liked to seen another strap inside the plate pocket that could secure it. Other than that, that's the That's my only real gripe about this vest. This carrier itself, I'm not sure if it's 500 nylon. It is very light. It is one of the lightest plate carriers with cummerbunds I have. I have the Mayflower the concealable assault, their concealment cut assault plate carrier. I have the LBT. I have Eagle MBAVs. I have all the major lightweight plate carriers except for the JPC. I don't have the JPC, but this is by far the lightest. So I'm not sure if that's going to affect how the vest holds up. On the stitching is appropriate. It's stitched properly. There's some cheapness done to the stitching. This is a brand new vest, never been worn, never been fielded. I've never even tried it on. And you know, the threads, there's a lot of open threads on it. I don't like that. That's kind of like an ominous sign to me if there's like a lot of it. And it seems to be really heavy on the cummerbund where the stitching is, where it's just popping out. You know, it hasn't failed. I mean, and the stitching pattern itself seems very adequate. I don't think the stitching is necessarily going to fail. Everything is double stitched, lock stitched, where it should be. But that's my only complaint on that. I do like, you know, this is kind of in the same style as the Mayflower low profile assault plate carrier. And the fact is you got MOLLE real estate, even right here to where you can mount stuff, whether it be radio pouch, magazine, knife, whatever you want to mount back there. So overall, you know, this is a pretty good plate carrier. This isn't even a plate carrier. This would be a concealable armor system. But what I do really like much more about this one over the Mayflower, I will show you, because there is one feature that I really do like, and I love my Mayflower. It's one of my favorite vests, and if I had soft armor for this thing, I'd probably run this more than my Mayflower. And the zipper on it, they use the proper zippers on it. It's a YKK heavy duty industrial zipper. You know, this isn't some bullshit ass zipper. It's a real zipper. So what I do like over my Mayflower low profile assault plate carrier is the MOLLE on the rear. This is a full MOLLE backed rear, and that is important for one reason. Yes, a low profile assault carrier indicates that it's going to be used in a low profile mission, you know, where it's going to be run undergarments, or where it's going to be run slick or with virtually nothing on the back. You could use this as an assault style plate carrier. I can mount all the pouches I need, just like on my 6094, just like on my Cirrus or my MBAV. I can mount just as many pouches on this as I can any other armor system. But unlike my Mayflower low profile, I can mount a MAP or a Eagle EOT, the Beaver Tail Assault Pack, or back panel, or whatever sort of rear load bearing, equipment bearing pack or accessory I want to put on there. I can put that on there. I can't do that with my Mayflower. My Mayflower only has 3 or 4 rows of low MOLLE. It doesn't have any top portion. It just has Velcro. That's the only thing I hate about my Mayflower. I personally think the Mayflower is built a little bit better. So, but that's just my opinion. It just feels more sturdy. I think this is a super light. This might be like a 330 denier nylon. I mean, this is pretty light. But haven't got a chance to run these. I know a lot of guys that went out of pocket and bought these for deployment, or bought Paraclete stuff for deployment, and they love them. They generally run pretty good. I still would run this, even though it's an MSA Paraclete, and I just kind of dog their name a little bit. I would still run it. I just wouldn't expect it to last as long as, say, some of my Eagle or LBT stuff. You know, I understand this is probably going to wear out a little bit more. So, and I know these things are synonymous for for the elasticity of the cummerbunds going out fastly on these. I guess they don't stitch them properly, or they don't use proper manufacturing methods, and these are usually the first things to wear out on them. So quickly going over their pouch selection. This is a pre-MSA Paraclete pouch selection, and the reason why I dog Paraclete pouches is that I bought some Paraclete pouches for a deployment once, and I ran them, and two out of the three I brought with me, they broke. And these were MSA Paraclete pouches that I had bought. And where they broke at was right here and at the back of the molly. So it didn't break at the attachment point, it broke the molly too. And I was like, you know, granted I had a substantial amount of stuff inside the pouch. You know, I mean, it was an M60 pouch that I used to keep, like nods, grenades, smoke grenades, GPS, you named it. I probably had it in that dumb pouch, but it shouldn't have broken like that. And if you look at this one is like quadruple lock stitch. It has 3 rows of stitching, and then it has a giant lock stitch on each side. So I don't see this one failing. And then the molly has a double stitch, actually a double or triple stitch going down the middle. So, you know, this is a pre-MSA Paraclete. This is original Paraclete. I don't think this pouch is ever going to fail, which it shouldn't, because it's an emitter pouch. And, you know, radios are sensitive items, and they're very important mission essential items. It's very hard to conduct an operation without radios, especially if you lose one. And if you lose one because of a faulty pouch, I mean, you know, you're still going to be written a statement of charges for it, most likely, and you know, it's just not good. This one's built really good, and this is old. You know, this is pre-2006, obviously. This has been used in Iraq. I've used this before. I got this from a buddy who had used it before me, and then I used it, and it worked, and it's worked good. Has a little accessory pouch on it. Has the ability to hold chem lights, but generally, pre-MSA Paraclete stuff, good to go, outstanding quality, really innovative for their time. Some of their designs are a little out of date by now, but it's generally well-built stuff. MSA Paraclete, they're okay. You know, they're all right. I'd still run them. Just don't think if you run them hard that you're going to be able to keep them forever, because, you know, like I said, all my MSA Paraclete pouches I had to throw out. They just didn't last long. They broke. So they kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. I haven't ran this. I probably won't run this armor carrier. But it is what it is. You know, it's really light. It won't even hold up on its own, you know, on its own weight. So that might be a good thing or a bad thing. You know, if I can get some soft armor inserts for it on the cheap, I might run this a few times, and I'll see how it holds up to like light abuse. If I think it's going, you know, if it's not going to hold up, I might do a follow-on video to this thing. So, but right now it's good. So just you know, keep in mind, if you guys are buying Paraclete stuff, make sure you know what you're buying. And I cannot speak of any of their current stuff that's coming out right now. I think their production has gone at really low levels right now, so I don't know what quality is being produced right now. This is a little bit older in itself. This is probably almost, you know, 4 years old now. But I cannot speak to what's coming out right now. You know, pre-MSA Paraclete, good to go all the way. Probably lasts your lifetime. MSA, so-so. And then the new stuff, I have no idea. So take that for what it's worth. On the grading scale, I believe I gave, on my hard grading scale, just to remind everybody, I gave Eagle Industries and LBT a B/C. Okay, probably more of a B than a C. Neither one of those companies have really done anything to piss me off. This company would be a C or a D. Pre-MSA Paraclete, I would give an A every time. A+. MSA Paraclete, C, maybe even a D. Pouches, definitely a D. Armor carriers, I don't have enough experience to give a grade. but right now it looks like to be a solid C. And C being good enough for military use, but not outstanding. A D and an F, I think, would, in my grading scale, would be subpar for military use, and I would not recommend or use it for any sort of military application. But I give this one a C. I would probably wear this into combat, unless it shitted out on me, and then I would never wear it again. But overall good. So leave your comments, your suggestions. If anybody has any experience with this exact carrier or MSA Paraclete stuff, like actually like using it really hard, leave your your story below in your experience, because I'm always looking to hear new things. I like getting on the boards and seeing other people's experiences, and generally the boards I get onto cater to law enforcement and military. You have to be credentialed and all that. So I like hearing and reading other people's experiences with gear, because I don't have a lot of experience with some of the stuff out there, so I like to read about it before I make an investment or want to try it. So leave your comments below. Nothing big. Next company I will probably do will be Mayflower, and then probably First Spear. So in that order. So next week, look for my Mayflower video, and then followed on by First Spear. So other than that, I will see you guys next time.